As schools get ready to celebrate the start of summer, a new national report gives our state low grades when it comes to how kids learn. The annual Kids Count data book released today shows Maine with the second largest decline in the country for education scores. Joy Hollowell breaks it all down.
We really think of it as like a call to action.
Each year, the Annie E. Casey Foundation releases its findings on kids around the country. The nonprofit ranks each state in 4 categories: education, family and community, health, and economic well-being.
It's a tool for understanding where systems that children rely on are providing what they need to thrive or not.
Kristen Kinchla is a research associate with Maine Children's Alliance. They are the state's partnering organization with the Casey Foundation.
We really think of it when large numbers of children are struggling, that's a signal to look at the systems around them.
And this year, they are paying close attention to education. According to the report, Maine's national test scores have dropped 88 points since 2019. And its overall education score fell by 224 points. That is the second lowest drop in the country. We should note this is using data from 2024.
And we really look at it, if Maine wants strong readers at age 10, we need to support children's language development from birth to age 10.
Kinchla says it's important not to blame children, families, or even particular schools. This is a statewide issue. And on a positive note, Maine tops 6th in the nation for family and community connections. The report states only 2% of children in Maine live in what's considered high poverty areas.
I think that is an encouraging finding that Maine continues to perform strongly on a lot of those family and community indicators. We've been pretty consistent in that over the years. And those gains definitely show that policy choices and investments can make a difference in the lives of kids and their families.
Joy Hollowell, WABI News.
To give some context, the latest Kids Count report shows nearly all states fared worse in 2024 for education as compared to 2019. To view the full report, you can look for the story on our website.